What's up, y'all? It's your favorite womb auntie, doula, womb healer, and overall, just high vibrational being. I don't get on the internet enough and talk about my story and what brought me to doing what I present to y'all and educate y'all on. And, I'm very protective of my story just like everybody else is. But it doesn't help me in building a connection with you if you don't know anything about me. And I'm recognizing that, as an entrepreneur, we got to connect with our community. And through me building and establishing stronger connections, it has a lot to do with me healing. I ain't just getting up here talking to y'all about healing your womb spaces and all of that, and I'm not doing the work myself. I'm transparent in that regard. And a lot of the things that I talk about are things that I'm dealing with in real time. I flow with the moon because I'm a Cancer. Cancer is we the best. But anyways, I flow with the moon. And so wherever the moon goes is where my energy is flowing. And those are the things that are either, surfacing in terms of wounds, with the full moon being in Leo. Full moons are all about releasing and protection and cleansing and all that good stuff, all that good energy that you need to cultivate big change. Because if you want to draw new things in, you have to release what's not serving you. It works in symbiosis, and we don't recognize that. And so I was having a conversation with God last night, and God was letting me know, what you're creating is not being used because you're not even using it. And I'm like, well, damn. I thought I was because I made it. So if I made it, of course I'm using it in my day-to-day. God told me take a look a little bit deeper. So I went and referred to my Lunar Wisdom Healing guidebook, and that book is really dope. If you don't have it in your collection, you fucking need it. I created that book this time last year, and it's all about lunar phases, natural rhythms, your birth chart, and you'll be the one, pulling and extracting the data from that and utilizing it to learn, are you supposed to be using the moon phases to heal and surrender and retreat? Or are you supposed to be using it to be intentional, to manifest, to take action? And so, yeah, get it. And based upon, wherever that energy is most active, utilizing it to its fullest capacity, because baby, we're underutilizing the resources that God gave us. But anyways, that is not what this post is about. But get into it. This post is about me being real with myself as I'm sitting here in reflection. And, womb healing for me has been pivotal because the more time that I've spent with my womb and recognizing what's going on outside of me, realizing that it's a full reflection of what's going on inside of me in the different areas where I have tension, I'm realizing that I'm fully grateful for the moments that I've been finding myself in, no matter if it's chaotic or not. And it's really difficult to appreciate chaos, tension, confusion while you in it. But once the battle is over, or once you feel it subsiding, when you could actually fucking breathe, it's amazing. And I want us to start to appreciate those moments, those full circle moments, a lot more. But I had to get real with myself about my womb healing when I realized how much I was protecting a narrative that is not serving me in this season. 2025 is going to be the year of completion. And it's not just completion for things that are happening outside of us, the systems and constructs and institutions that are once here. It's also a culmination of closing out the tensions that lie within us. And I just am in full gratitude and awe of this moment because I really feel like my womb has been freed. I have been having so many things come to the surface, so many things that I have closed out. And this one piece of energy right here, I feel was the very last bit of it. And I'm gonna dive in. I convinced myself through my trials and tribulations in life that if I did all of the things, I would be okay as a woman, as a mother. I would have, closed out a lot of generational patterns because I felt like I had it all figured out. I was convinced that the women before me weren't able to make certain strides because they didn't have their autonomy. They didn't have education. They weren't able to pursue higher realms of professional development. And I felt like when they passed the baton to Shanice was going to take flight. Shanice went to school and got a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I double majored, and I had my dual major was psychology and human resources management because I was going to go into staffing and help people get a job because I wanted to see people be productive, because I felt like people not having the ability to have gainful employment held them back in life. Because I had experienced growing up in the projects in an environment where we all had lower socioeconomic statuses, and I just thought everybody was there because nobody was giving us a chance, and we were super oppressed, and I was down for the cause. There were periods of time during my unemployment where I was helping people get jobs. I was helping people construct resumes for free because I wanted to see America, Black America, be great. I wanted us to work. I wanted us to thrive. And I convinced myself that if I did all these things, that I wouldn't be in a perpetual cycle of mental anguish and being suppressed by a system. I convinced myself that if I got a master's degree in labor relations, I'd be able to, complete the American dream. I could have a house. I could have my 2 kids and a dog. I could have a husband. I convinced myself that I was too smart to become a baby mother. I was too smart to have a child out of wedlock. I was too smart to become a statistics. That if I worked hard enough, learned enough, and accomplished enough, I wouldn't have to deal with the cycles of struggle that I grew up on. But I realized, sitting here as a 36-year-old woman, that is not how any of this works. And all of life's trials and tribulations that I didn't heal, that I just suppressed because I had to get up and go to work, and I had to get up and go to school, and I had to get up and provide, and I had to get up and keep pushing, that all of my degrees did not stop life from happening. That did not stop life from, taking me through the trials that God needed me to experience so that I could sit in this moment and be prepared for this posture. It didn't prevent me from choosing the wrong partner. It didn't prevent me from learning the lessons that I needed to learn in my heart about what love was, what love looked like. It didn't prevent me from learning what boundaries was. All of the education I got didn't prevent me from having to learn how to break the shackles of having poor financial literacy, because nobody taught that to me. So all they did was make me overwork myself to the point of depletion. All that shit just made me become a real nigga. It made me cold. It made me pride myself on doing everything alone. And that's why God brought me to doing what I do and who I am, because I needed to heal my womb. Your womb healing isn't just about herbs, yoni steams, or fertility rituals. It's about breaking the cycles that keep us in survival mode. For me, that looked like overcompensating in motherhood. That looked like me putting myself in isolation as a means to protect myself. Me thinking that me going through years of abstinence was protection and self-preservation. And to some degree it was, but to some degree it was detrimental. And so because my daughter's father wasn't stepping up in the ways I needed him to, I filled in the gaps. I overfilled them. I worked multiple jobs. I got degrees. I made sure we had everything so that my child would never lack, because I felt like I made the wrong choices in men because I was looking for things that I wasn't getting at home, when I wasn't looking at the things that I needed in terms of love and nurturing. I wanted to prove to my baby daddy that I ain't need him. And I'm constantly being reminded of when I asked that nigga to leave, him saying to me, you gonna need me. And me telling him, nigga, I got degrees. I'ma be all right. I ain't gonna need you. No, I ain't gonna put you on child support. And he took that shit and ran with it. I felt like I had to prove to him that I wasn't a statistic. I felt like I had to prove to my mother and to my grandmothers that I didn't need to stay with a man in order to keep my house afloat. That I didn't need to stay with a man just to go half on the bills with me to have a warm body in my bed. I was both the mother and the father, and I took a lot of time and my daughter not seeing me experience any type of fucked up relationship dynamics because she didn't need to be tainted. My daughter didn't need to see me being abused. My daughter didn't need to see me walking around the house with a black eye acting like everything was okay. My daughter didn't need to see me crying at night in the bed over a nigga that's not coming home. My daughter didn't need to see any of that. But the things that she did see wasn't the best either. Her seeing her mother get up every day, going to work, doing everything, wearing all the hats wasn't any better. Her seeing her dad one day out the week, and I'm not chastising him in this video. This is about me. This is about Big Dog. Me having full revelation of where I am now, 11 years later. Because I keep telling y'all, healing is not linear. Y'all think that healing occurs in 6 months of going to the gym and learning how to garden and, reading a self-help book. I'm telling you, I don't read self-help books, baby. Only self-help book I'm reading is the Bible for Psalms. And that's not even on a regular basis because I know that my journey belonged to be in the Bible. I am a book. The book of Shanice. My name means favored by God. But with that favor comes trials. And so I thought that all the shit that I was doing was something to be proud of. God literally turned me every way but loose in the last 2 years. I lost damn near everything besides my fucking mind. My mind and my car I did not lose. And I'm so grateful for my credit union. Because they looked at my history and they was fucking with a real one. And they knew it. But life will humble you, especially when you operate in your physical and not in your spiritual. The woman I am today has always been the woman that I've been. I've always been the woman in my circles to uplift people, to empower people, to see who you are in your soul and call that out of you. I've always been a queen builder, a king builder. But I wasn't operating in that. I've always been very meticulous about nutrition, how I'm feeding myself. And yes, I got habits and vices like everybody else. I don't get on social media and present myself to be perfect. And I don't want anybody to think if I'm not saying it and you're insinuating it, stop it. Release the shackles of that. Release it. I just teach people how to live better, how to treat themselves better, how to show yourself you love yourself. I am a testimony of operating and trying to seek self-love in a minuscule aspect of it. Because The focus is the womb. I want to get to the moms. I want to get in that belly. I want to call what's out of you to the present, to the forefront. But life will humble you. And for a long time, I didn't have the resources in the last 2 years that I was used to. I couldn't show up in my usual superwoman fashion. And in that lack, I realized something. I had been robbing myself of motherhood in its fullest form. I had been so focused on providing that I wasn't present. And to be a mother is to be feminine. To be feminine is to be creative, to be present, to be receptive. I wasn't any of those things because I worked too hard. I wasn't any of those things because I was prideful as fuck. I wasn't any of those things because I'm the firstborn daughter and I was taught to be independent. I was taught that I could wipe my own ass and I don't need a man. I was taught that I could wipe my own ass and I don't need I don't need people to follow me. I'm big dog. And that's in my stature. I'm 5'7", baby, 200 plus solid pounds of muscle. I was taught to stand on my own. I was showing my daughter that love isn't just about doing. It's about being. That was what I realized in these last 2 years. Parenting, God had been telling me parenting was going to be a big focus for me for these last 2 years. And God was not lying. From healing parental wounds to healing my own wounds as a mom to healing wounds with her dad to realizing, damn, I only got one kid because I let this man make me a real nigga and forget I got a womb I'm supposed to create. And I've been creating a lot of things in the world. My products are my kids. My herbal blends are my kids. My decks are my kids. I'm putting all this love into the world for other people to use. But damn, I'm learning that in this moment, outside, before I got to this moment, I had to learn how to surrender. I had to learn how to trust in God. I had to learn that I had to stop running. I had to accept that my worth was not tied to how much I produced. When I started reflecting on these patterns, I saw them everywhere. In the way I overperformed in relationships to prove I was worthy. In the way I avoided softness and vulnerability because I thought it made me weak. In the way I chose isolation as a defense mechanism instead of true self-preservation. Healing isn't just about what we do. It's about what we stop doing. For me, that meant releasing overworking as a form of self-worth, allowing support instead of pushing people away, shifting from survival mode to being receptive. I won't lie and say that it's been easy. Letting go of overworking meant confronting wounds I had buried under productivity. It meant realizing that I was trying to outwork my pain instead of healing it. But now I see things differently. I see how much I've lost, but also how much I've gained. I see that my desire for more children isn't just about having more kids. It's about being the kind of mother who is fully present for them. Not just providing, not just protecting, but nurturing, loving, and receiving. I see now that true womb healing isn't just about fertility. It's about how we show up in every part of our life. And I choose to show up fully. I just came to share that with y'all today. This is my testimony, my stamp of how the full moon in Leo is doing me. And I hope to, share more pieces like this with y'all, because this life is a living document, and I don't feel like I gotta be overprotective of my wounds anymore, because I'm not the only one who has experienced these things. And I feel like women coming together, talking about our stories, being vulnerable with our stories, helps the next one. And so that's all I got today. I feel good. I feel like a big release has occurred, and let me know how you feeling. I hope you don't feel heavy. I hope I didn't dump on you. I hope I didn't trigger you. And if I did trigger you to the effects where you feel like you want to do something about it, because triggers reveal what need healing, connect with me. Because I ain't afraid of you. I ain't afraid of what you've been through. I ain't afraid to help you dissect that thing. But don't connect with me if you're not trying to do the work. Because I don't just want to talk. I love you. Bye.